If you've driven through Malvern anytime after dark, certainly you've seen the window of Jesus in the First United Methodist Church. It'll be 50 years old next year. But it's the windows on the inside of the sanctuary that line the walls that have the real history to tell. A Methodist church has been situated at Ash and Page since Malvern became a city in the 1870s. This is the fourth building to occupy the spot. These stained glass windows have been a mainstay in the last two buildings dating back to 1910. The windows, a mixture of the Old and New Testament, continue to illustrate and remind believers of key teachings, reinforcing the narrative of faith through visual representation. Jim Rice is a longtime member of the church, and he has studied both the history and the technology of the windows.
Well, these windows were all gifts from earlier congregants, and these particular windows started arriving as part of the response to the tornado that destroyed the church that was on this site in 1909. The church was rebuilt 1911, 1912, and these windows started to be part of the church.
Europe, especially Italy, was a center for stained glass manufacturing since at least the 7th century, and it is from Italy that these windows came.
The windows were made in Italy, probably in Florence. There's some debate about exactly where that happened. They were sent back to Florence in 1976 for refurbishment, and we think that was the original manufacturer, but promises are made, gifts are exchanged, who knows.
For over 1,300 years, churches have used stained glass windows.
The earliest known figurine of a picture of Jesus in stained glass, dates back to Ravenna, Italy in 700. And the main reason for the figures, most people couldn't read. So it allowed the stories of the Bible to come to life, where somebody might not be able to pick up Joshua and read a text from Joshua and understand it. They could look at the window and hear the story, and they would remember. So one of the first forms of mass communication was stained glass windows.
No records exist at the church of just how much each window cost back in 1910, but whatever it was would pale to what the cost would be today.
In today's dollars, if you could build these, they would be over $250,000.
Labor expense would drive the cost. There are two types of labor involved: making the cames or the leaded parts separating the small pieces of glass, and then the time-consuming glass coloring and cutting.
They're lead encased, and inside each one there's a combination of vitreous paint that has to be fired several times, and on a more complicated section like the foot or certainly the robe, the artisan would have taken a piece of glass of the color he wanted, laid it out, and then come back, heated it again, and laid a different color on, and heated it again and laid a different color on. And the reason that these glasses would be so expensive, especially today, is the amount of hand labor that goes into them. And it's very, very skilled hand labor.
The seventh window at First United Methodist Church is the large illuminated window of Jesus. It's only 50 years old, and because of technological advancements between 1910 and 1975 when it was installed, acrylic paint was used to create the detailed colors on plain colored glass. Church stained glass windows remind believers of key teachings, reinforcing the narrative of faith through visual representation.
This window is named "Come Unto Me." I don't know of any other phrase that sums up what Christianity means to me personally. Before Jesus, nobody had, no matter what religion you were, had an individual relationship with God. This window tells me that every time I look at it, that I have that individual relationship.